Welcome back everybody, I hope you're having a beautiful day today, and I hope you're ready for what we're going to read today. It's going to be fun, it's going to be concerning, and it'll be a wonderful time like it always is. And with that being said, enjoy guys. The first one that we're going to read today is called Am I Wrong for Divorcing Over a Tattoo? My wife of 4 years got a tattoo recently with her best friend who has a very aggressive type of bone cancer. She didn't discuss it with me at all, just did it while I was on a training mission. I came home Monday to see her with this name tattooed on her neck with a Pokemon. On her neck, oh my god. I have not returned home since I saw it. I've been sleeping in the barracks. I'm honestly thinking about just filing for divorce. Am I wrong? Edit, I've heard from some of my neighbors that she basically moved him in for the 6 weeks that I was away on a training mission and left a few days before I returned. She's refusing to even discuss it. All she keeps on saying is that it has nothing to do with me and her. You can't get a tattoo of somebody's name on your neck and refuse to discuss it. Update, she was served divorce papers yesterday at our previous home together. She thought it'd be a good idea to involve both of our families without giving them a reason or context, just that I filed for divorce after I got home from my last training mission. So as the parents called, I told them about the tattoo and her moving him in while I was gone, and I let them deal with her. Wow, that's unbelievable. And I don't feel like you're wrong, OP. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move them into the house while you're on a training mission and then get their name tattooed on my neck, and I'm also gonna refuse to even talk about it. You don't get other people's names tattooed on your neck and not talk to your partner about it. And also, what an odd place to get that sort of tattoo. Yeah, the top comment, why on her neck? A tattoo honoring somebody is fine, but the neck? I'm not sure what reaction she expected with that one. And this comment too, as a heavily tattooed woman with a husband who is not, I don't fault you in the least. My best guy friend and I got tattooed together 2 days ago. We've been friends for 32 years. My husband knows that I'd never get anything on my hands, neck, or face, but he has asked me to not get any on my thighs because he finds thigh tattoos on women a turn off. Fair enough, I respect that. He's never asked me to not get another dude's name permanently inked onto my body because he doesn't need to. In what bloody universe would a spouse be okay with that? When I was scrolling and I saw the title of this post, I thought, what kind of misogynistic BS do we have here? Dude, get away from that crazy biatch as fast as you can. And footnote, a reputable tattooist would never agree to do a neck tattoo as somebody's first tattoo. Yeah, 1,000,000%. When I read the title too, I was like, what do we have here? But no, I don't feel like you're wrong at all, OP. I'd love to try and understand what she was thinking getting the tattoo though. Like, was this the plan? To break them up? What did she expect to happen? And also, pretty much moving him in when you weren't there, OP? That's so wild. There's a comment that says, a neck tattoo with a different dude's name is grounds for divorce. And the comment under that said, yep, I think I'd have to bounce out of that marriage. Plus, she didn't even want to get a matching tattoo with her husband, but got her friend's name tattooed on her neck. That's pretty messed up in my opinion. And there's another comment that said, OP, I don't think you're wrong, and I think walking away was the best choice. You commented that this is her first tattoo. How big is it and where is it? I'm just curious because I can't believe the artist said okay. Not only the placement for a first tattoo, but a name as well. 2 big no-nos in tattooing, at least in my book. And OP said it's about 2 inches tall under her left ear. And OP also left a comment that said she and her friends are belittling me, calling me jealous and controlling. No, she's not apologizing. She told me to get over myself. Oh my god. Oh, the audacity. That is so messed up, OP. You get a tattoo of somebody's name under your ear and you let them live in the house while your husband isn't there, not telling your husband about it, and you're telling him to get over himself. That's infuriating. What are you talking about? Oh, she sucks, OP. Yeah, this comment too, tattoo of another dude's name in a visible place like the neck. That's mad disrespectful. Yeah, and to do it without even having a discussion first. They are for sure not just friends, OP. Yeah, this comment too, not wrong at all, F her. Something else is going on. That's a huge commitment. A neck tattoo is something that, if visible, will affect her for the rest of her life. Yeah, I can't believe you're being made out to be the bad person. That's so wild, and I'm so happy you're getting out of there, OP. There is an update here. I got all of my ducks in a row, as they say. I sat down and I spoke with my future ex-wife. She honestly expects me to just step aside and let her play house with her friend, pause our marriage, wait until they're done, and then continue our life together like nothing happened. I can't live with her plan, so I'm getting divorced. I wasted nearly 6 years on it already. I'm not wasting any more of my life on her. We'll be in the new duty station by the end of June. A fresh start, and I hope to put all of this behind me. Yeah, the top comment. Good for you, OP. Move on. You'll definitely find somebody who values you and the relationship. And OP said, I just don't get it. She let some guy that she met at a Pokemon card game tournament a few years ago set her whole life on fire. And there's a comment that said, so she admitted that she was cheating cheating? And OP said no, she's dancing around the questions, but her theatrics told me what I needed to know. Yeah, so like 99% sure that she was cheating. Cheating, having somebody in your house without even telling you, and then getting their name tattooed on her neck. How revolting. What an awful partner. Of course, you deserve so much better, OP. That's awful. I can't believe that. And the audacity to tell you to get over yourself. Ew. Yeah, good on you for getting out of there, OP. The next one is called Am I Wrong for Telling My Mum That It's Not My Job to Feed Her Husband and Calling Him Her Boy Toy? My 16 mum, 50, left my dad 51 for her husband, 22, 6 years ago. Before you ask, yep, the ages are correct. Her new husband is her former best friend's son. I visit her every other weekend with money from my dad on each visit in order to buy meals and a new book at the nearby bookstore. Last week, her husband asked if I could buy him something from the restaurant. I told him no. The money that my dad gave me is just enough to cover all of my meals with a little bit of spare change to buy a new book, so I can't buy dinner for him. Mum said that I can just eat somewhere else that's cheaper and that it would be kind of me to get something for her husband. Told me that I could go a week without buying a new book, so I told her it's not my job to feed him. I also said that dad gave me money and it's meant for me, not her boy toy. She said that I didn't have to be antagonistic and called me unnecessarily aggressive. Update, I did text her telling her the way that she expected me to feed her husband with my dad's money is too much, and that if she tries something like that again, I won't go over again. I'll go to court and I'll tell a judge if I have to. Yeah, no, you're definitely not wrong. I can't believe that. You're 16, your mum's 50, and her husband is 22. So like way closer to your age than to your mum's age. Yeah, the top comment, not the yay-hole. Ask your mum what her boy toy's gonna do when he grows up, and tell her that it's not your job to financially support him. Tell her that she should give him an allowance or at least some milk money. Yeah, 100%. And this comment too, wait, was the guy 16 and your mum was 44 when they got together? I'm pretty tolerant when it comes to age difference, but that's just nauseating. Anyway, definitely not the a-hole. And OP said he used to call her auntie before they started dating, visited a lot before she and dad divorced. Ew, that's so foul. Oh my god. And OP said, yeah, he was 16. Yeah, and the comment under that one, dude, your mum is a predator, holy crap. And the comment under that says, why didn't his parents have her arrested if you're in the States? And OP said, not in the States, the age of consent in our country is 15. Yeah, the comment under that doesn't make it right. Oh my god. Oh, your mum's gross as hell, OP. Get out of there. It sounds like you're sick of it anyway. Go live with your dad. Ew. Creepy predatory crap. Yeah, because when I read my 16 mum 50 left my dad 51 for her husband 22 6 years ago, I was thinking, so 6 years before he was 22, so he was 16. Like, surely not. But no, that's right. They got together when he was 16. How did that even happen? There's a comment here that says, holy crap, she married a 16-year-old at the age of 44. That's sickening. What did his mother think of it? I'd be furious. But back to your original question, you're not wrong. If he wanted something, he should have given you money and asked if you'd mind grabbing something for him. And OP said they didn't marry when he was 16, but they were very serious about each other, and that was when mum chose him over my dad. How is this even real? OP also left a comment that said, my dad set up a college fund for me. My mum does not have access to it. Okay, that's amazing. That's good at least. Like, yeah, he's a boy toy, but he's also a victim. Like, this is messed up. We haven't read something this disgusting in ages. There's a comment here that says, your mum is a, you-know-what-a-phile, and your husband is also her unfortunate victim. I'd go no contact, mother or not. I wouldn't want a sexual predator in my life. Yeah. Like, oh, well, the age of consent is 15. That does not make it any less disgusting. That's so messed up. I'm actually in disbelief. Like, what? Yeah, if I were you, OP, I'd be going no contact ASAP. I'd be living with your dad if I could. Okay, let's move on. The next one is called, Am I Wrong for Thinking It's Rude for a house guest to leave a toilet unflushed with the toilet seat up? My 28 female boyfriend, 28 male, had a friend come over to our house recently. Both times that the friend used the bathroom, I went in after him and I noticed that he left the toilet seat up and also left pee in the toilet, meaning that he didn't bother to flush. So, of course, I had to put the seat down and flush the toilet before I used it. A few weeks went by and I casually mentioned it to my boyfriend. It was relevant to the conversation that we were having. And he started arguing, saying that I have high expectations and now he doesn't want to bring any of his friends over because now I'll think that they're rude. But it is rude. Leaving pee in a toilet for somebody else to flush is rude in my opinion. If he did it once, I'd assume it was an accident or something, but he did it twice. I don't know, I guess I have a pet peeve about other people respecting my space. I don't want to have to see you pee. And no, I'm not a germaphobe. Am I wrong for thinking this behavior from a house guest is rude? My boyfriend's argument is everybody's house has different rules, like taking off your shoes when you come in. My argument is that it's common sense to flush after you use the bathroom. If he was using a urinal, he'd flush right. So why leave pee in a friend's bathroom for them to deal with? You don't walk in a home with muddy shoes. Edit to add, for anybody saying a lot of houses don't flush when it's just pee, so maybe he just assumed if it's yellow, let it mellow, if it's brown, flush it down. But why assume that? You don't assume that in a public restroom. We never told him that. It's best to flush if you don't know the house rules. Why would you leave pee in a toilet, assuming that your house rules apply to a guest house? That makes no sense. We also live in an eco-friendly smart home with a water-saving toilet, so there's no reason he needed to save water for us. Wow, and your boyfriend thinks that you have high expectations? Are you joking? Oh, that's hilarious. No, you're not wrong, OP, and no, they're not high expectations. What a joke. Yeah, like this comment says, if this is your boyfriend's idea of high expectations, you might want to reconsider the whole idea of boyfriend. And the comment under that one, lol, he should just admit that it's gross instead of taking it personally. It doesn't mean that his friends are bad people. It's just common courtesy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, OP. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for not staying out of adult business and ruining my dad's marriage? I, 15 female, am in a weird situation and I'd like an outside perspective. I'm my parents, mum 37 female and dad 42 male, only child together, and I have a stepmom, Eve 42 female. From what I was told, my dad and my stepmom were a couple first, but things didn't work out shortly after they had my siblings, and my dad eventually met and married my mum after she discovered that she was pregnant with me. My dad didn't marry Eve, and from what my aunt told me, she was really bitter about that and used my siblings as a weapon to punish my dad and mum. My mum tried her best, but after she found out that my dad and Eve were sleeping together, she filed for divorce. During the marriage, my dad had an established business that grew, and because my mum was able to prove that she had done unpaid labor for my dad's business, my mum had some leverage in the divorce and agreed to relinquish a stake in the company for alimony, the house, and a car for herself while getting child support for me. For the next couple of years, my mum focused on me and going back to school because my dad convinced her to stop while she was taking a break from her studies to save up more money. She eventually graduated and tried looking for work, but nothing really interested her. My dad and stepmom, who had gotten married by then, were always angry at my mum for not getting a job so that there'd be less alimony to pay, and tried to get 50-50 custody off me to try and reduce the child support. But I never liked living with my dad full time because I was often made to babysit their younger children. My older siblings never warmed up to me, and I didn't like the way that Eve and her family would talk about my mum. Eventually, my mum got certified for a job that she wanted and has been an independent contractor for years, and because of this, my mum submitted the paperwork to stop alimony, and she's been living life. Last week when I was with my stepmom Eve, my sister Zoe, 20 female, and Eve's sisters were in the living room saying very rude things about my mum. They called her a side piece, a gold digger, and said that my older sister had to take out loans because of the increase in alimony that my mum was awarded. I walked in and called Eve and Zoe liars, that my mum was never the side piece, and that my mum's been working for years, so there was no alimony. There was a big confrontation and I ended up leaving, but I later sent Eve, Zoe, and one of Eve's sisters a link to my mum's professional social media page that listed all the companies that she worked for. Turns out that my dad never told his family that the alimony payment stopped, and instead of putting the extra money towards them, he's been keeping it for spending elsewhere. It's crazy over there, and my dad and a few of his family members are saying that I'm wrong for meddling in grown folks' business. I just hated how they were talking and spreading lies about my mum, but maybe I went about it the wrong way. So am I the gay hole? No, you're not the gay hole, OP. They shouldn't have been saying stuff like that. And that's why they said what they said to you about how you should stay out of it, because they got caught being a-holes and they didn't like it. Yeah, the top comment, not the gay hole. Your dad was lying and throwing your mum under the bus in order to keep money from your stepfamily and let them sit there and slag her off while you're around. All you did was defend her, and rightfully so. He deserves everything that he has coming. And I wouldn't feel bad for people who are happy to talk crap about your mum either. And OP said, I don't feel bad for Eve or Zoe, but after my dad got back with Eve, they had other children and I do feel bad for them. And the comment under that says, that's on your dad though, not you. Eve could easily have found out from somewhere else. This one's a case of your dad playing stupid games and winning, letting his entire family down. You're not responsible for your dad's relationships with his other kids, or the impact that his dishonesty might have on their lives. If your dad was a good, honest person, he wouldn't have so much mess to clean up. Yeah, and the comment under that too, not the a-hole. You had no way of knowing that your dad was lying to his wife and her children. You were defending your mother and her accomplishments. Even the crew should have kept their opinions to themselves while you were anywhere nearby. That was so rude and uncalled for, because even if your mother was still collecting alimony, that was a legal decision that your dad entered into. Your father and his other family are the a-holes here. Dad shouldn't be keeping secrets, and his wife and children should be keeping their opinions to themselves. Edit to add, you in no way ruined Eve and Dad's marriage. They did that. Yeah, you have no reason to apologize, OP. They all sound so toxic. And yeah, they were being awful and lying in front of you, and you corrected them. You didn't do anything wrong. The next one is called, am I the gay hole for being fat phobic towards my sister-in-law? So I, 27 female, recently hosted a family barbecue at my house. It was a big event with about 20 people, including my husband's 30 male family. Among the guests was my sister-in-law Emily, 35 female, who is significantly overweight. I only mention this because it's relevant to the story. Emily has always struggled with her weight, and and while I have no issue with her size, it does come with certain health concerns that she often talks about herself. She's on medication for high blood pressure and has diabetes, which she frequently brings up in conversation. She hosts the barbecues most of the time and makes food that I can't eat because of my dietary requirements. I had a benign tumor in my gallbladder and I had it removed, making my ability to digest fat, the macronutrient, more difficult. Since I make my dietary needs known and I love cooking nutritious meals, I decided to make the barbecue menu things that I thought people would enjoy, but I could still eat with my limitations. I prepared grilled chicken, breast, thighs, and drums, vegetable skewers, a big salad with optional dressings, campfire baked potatoes, and some lean beef burgers. I also made a berry and tropical fruit salad for dessert, and whipped cream with maple syrup to go on it. When Emily arrived and saw the spread, she seemed disappointed and asked where the real food was. I politely explained that I wanted everybody to be able to enjoy this barbecue, and I wanted to serve stuff that I could enjoy too because of my restrictions. She made a few comments about how she was looking forward to indulging and how boring the food looked. Wow, that's so rude. Later in the afternoon, Emily began complaining loudly about how she was still hungry and missed having mac and cheese and ribs and other food that she likes to serve. She said that it wasn't a real barbecue without those items. My husband and a few others tried to calm her down, but she continued to gripe about it for the rest of the event. The next day, I called Emily to check on her and I offered to cook together sometime, thinking we may be able to indulge in a shared hobby and maybe host the next event together so that we could both have foods that we enjoy on the table. She then accused me of being fat phobic and said that I had deliberately excluded her favorite foods to shame her for her size. She told my husband that I humiliated her, and now my husband is upset with me for attacking his sister. Oh, no way. I honestly didn't mean to hurt Emily's feelings, but I wanted to provide a meal that I could eat as well as one of my guests could enjoy. Am I the a-hole for not serving food I can't eat to make my sister-in-law happy? No, of course not, OP. You didn't have any ill intentions. That's so wild of Emily to make that all about herself. That's not about her. And also, why isn't your husband backing you up too? There's a comment that says, of course you're not the a-hole because you didn't fat shame her. That's a perfectly delicious sounding barbecue spread. My question is, why the hell does your husband think that you did all of this just to fat shame his sister? And OP said, I think it's because I used to be overweight, but after changing my diet after my surgery, I lost a significant amount of weight relatively quick. My sister-in-law has always commented about how we used to be chubby girls together and how I've changed since I lost weight and have to make everything about health. I don't even talk about my dietary restrictions and choices. I just choose different options than before my surgery. Wow, so Emily's saying that you've changed too now that you've lost weight? That's so rude for her to say what she said at the barbecue. Imagine going to a barbecue and being like, oh, this food looks so boring. This isn't a real barbecue, and like complaining about it the whole time. The top comment says, not the a-hole, her insecurity is showing. The more troubling problem I see is your husband defending his sister's actions. Maybe it's just me, but you never complain about the food at a barbecue at somebody else's house. It's a rude, disrespectful, and just trashy in my personal opinion. I was also raised in the South. You never show up to a function without something. So for me, if it's a big event, I always smoke some sort of meat or queso or something I know I personally like and tastes good so others will enjoy. Therefore, if the spread isn't to my liking, then I have something anyway. Your sister is being ridiculous, and so is your husband for defending her. You didn't fat shame her. All you did was prepare food tailored to everyone's dietary restrictions. You did nothing wrong. Yeah, no, you're so not the a-hole, OP. The last one that we're going to read is on the relationship subreddit. My 26 female husband, 32, does nothing to help around the house, and it's ruining my sanity. How do you instigate real change? I need advice or help on what to do. I'm at the point of literally crying myself to sleep sometimes over this. I, 26 female, feel like I'm going to go insane with the endless repeating myself to my husband. My husband and I both work and are out of the house 10 hours a day. He does nothing around the house. The general mess of living that we both make, he always has excuses for not helping. I make lists, I ask nicely, I do all the mental and emotional labor of sorting out what needs to be done and also delegating it. Nothing. I do 99% of our cooking and meal prep and all of the actual cleaning. I'm talking washing the counters and cleaning bathrooms and mopping. I've been literally in tears begging for help around the house, and he's responded with an endless stream of apologies, making strategies to help him remember his own tears and excuses. I've tried just leaving it for him to do it, but the house gets so disgusting that I'm left reduced to tears over that too, because eventually I just have to cave and clean up the literal biohazardous pigsty. Otherwise my mental health plummets and I can't live that way. I know it's a trope that men don't clean blah blah, but how do you cope with this in a real way? I feel like I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown, and I've expressed this hundreds of times to him, and every time I'm met with an endless stream of promises about how he'll do better and how he knows that he doesn't do enough and he doesn't know why he has a hard time with it. When I point out how many times he's promised this, he just says, this time I will. I don't know what you want me to say. When I tell him I don't want him to say anything, I want him to help, he says, I will, I swear. And then back to square one. If I hand him a broom and say help, suddenly he says, I can't, I have work to do, but I will help with this later, I swear. And then he'll pull out his computer and start working. If I point out how he's only working working to avoid cleaning. He will vehemently claim that no, he was just about to start working when I asked for help. How do you get your partner to contribute? Full-time cooking and cleaning for the two of us is too much for me on top of work and school. I can't anymore and I don't know what to do. Oh god, that's such an awful situation, OP. The top comment says most women in your position deal with it in one of two ways. Quietly resign themselves and start living as a single woman with a dependent instead of a married woman with a partner, or get divorced. There's no third option for you. He knows how much this dynamic hurts you. He either can't or will not fix it, and there's nothing you can do to make him. He's an adult, he gets to choose how to live his life, and this is what he chooses. Thankfully, you're afforded that same privilege. I suggest that you use it. And OP said the painful truth that I've been avoiding. Yeah, it really sounds like he's not gonna change, OP. And also, you need to stop trying to make him change because he's not gonna. Like, it sounds like you can try as hard as you want to, but he's not gonna change. And also, this comment, actually, men do clean, unless they're slobs. And I know for damn sure that if my girl was reduced to tears and begging me to help, I'd be ashamed of myself. Hell, I wouldn't even be able to live with myself knowing I'm letting down the woman I love and care about. It sounds like not only is your husband disgusting, but he doesn't care about you at all. You can't live and care about somebody, yet be able to sit there and watch her struggle, exhausted and reduced to tears, and do absolutely nothing. That just doesn't reconcile. Yeah, definitely, and there's no excuse. Even though it sounds like he'll just make excuse after excuse, there isn't any excuse. And yeah, if you did care about your partner, you'd actually do something. Yeah, I don't know, I'd probably get out of there if I were you, OP. You're gonna lose your mind trying to make him change. And obviously, fighting doesn't make him change. You crying doesn't make him change. You said you've asked him hundreds of times. Oh, that's so sad though. I feel for you, OP. And on that note, I feel like that's enough for today. That was such a wild episode and I hope you guys enjoyed. But yeah, we need something wholesome. Bro, I'm on my way. Sorry for calling you bro. You're my girlfriend and I love you. I love you too, bro. Oh, that's so cute. I'm sorry. You're not my bro. You're my beautiful partner and I love you very much. That's so cute. Me shakes the treats bag. My cat starts running up the wall. Yeah, how funny is that? Wait a second, did you mention food? Or did I hear food? Give it to me now or you're gonna be in trouble. Chia like climbs up my leg sometimes when I'm trying to feed her. It's so cute. And on that note, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you let me know down below. And also subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day once again goes to Spider Gamer. Day 14 of telling the Vincey fam god-awful jokes I heard on the internet. Why are elevator jokes so classic and good? Because they work on so many levels. Oh, that's funny. That's not even a god-awful joke. Like, I feel like that's a good joke. But also, I feel like the more bad a joke is, kind of the funnier it is. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow in a new episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!